So cognitive function, work-specific benefits. Memory and working memory is an important part of cognitive function. Dual tasking is another important component of cognitive function, as is executive function and the ability to analyse and interpret complex information. And this is one of the leading reasons researchers think that exercise is so important for brain function, or more particularly cognitive function. A very important part of cognitive function is the connection of all our nerves in our brain. So when our nerves, broadly speaking, develop new connections, very important parts of these functions are strengthened. And that can be facilitated through exercise, and it can be facilitated with exercise that has a high skill component. Because of course, when you're learning a new skill, one thing you certainly have to do is really improve your cognitive attention at the time. This is actually known as neuroplasticity. That is the connection and strengthening of neural connections. And it's well known that any activity that creates new learning, which has an emphasis on coordination, balance, really helps with that neuroplastic effect of getting these nerves to connect and fire together. That added benefit of combining the well-known benefits of boxing for aerobic fitness, which improves circulation to the brain, with that skill component. When we combine the two together, we get this nice 1-2 effect on cognitive function. We're really getting these nerves that fire together, wire together, and when they wire together, the skill set remains, we develop new skills, we have a good working memory of these skills, and we're able to reproduce them with less cognitive effort. And we think this is the Flowon effect that we might see, or might translate to improved performance at work, where there's a requirement to concentrate, there's a requirement to interpret complex information. We certainly all know we have to dual task a lot during our day. And if we can get these benefits from exercise, and we can get these benefits from skill-based exercise, like boxing and kickboxing, I think we're well suited or well placed to really see beneficial effects for our everyday workplace. We certainly know, and there's a really strong body of research that suggests that those people who possess a higher level of fitness, that is cardiorespiratory fitness, and incidentally we know that if we undertake boxing, kickboxing, we can definitely improve our cardiorespiratory fitness, that the fitter workers tend to outperform the least fit workers when it comes to test of cognition, and that's been well proven in the literature. So simply put, exercise is brain food. And if we can get that from boxing or kickboxing, that's simply because it might be more engaging. Many people might find the skill acquisition component of that more appealing. Then I certainly think that there's a benefit that can be obtained from boxing and kickboxing for our cognitive performance and our everyday work performance. I think firstly that one of the major misconceptions about boxing or kickboxing is a solo sport. That simply isn't the case. That in any boxing or kickboxing class or session, there's a lot of team building, and that comes from the fact that you need to work with other people. A lot of the exercises involve holding the pads. That means that you have to engage with another in person, and you have to make sure that you're interacting in a way that facilitates their learning as well as your own. So that's one just very small example of where a boxing or a kickboxing class involves certainly an improvement or team building activities. There's also the fact that you're within a class structure, and there'll be times where you'll need to work with other people, when once again that requires you to engage in a way that facilitates a learning environment. And I think that has obvious benefits for work performance as well. Just that whole idea of getting groups of people together and working cohesively certainly can be beneficial for team building and social interaction.